Alright, so in this video we're going to look at the filters, the amp page and the effects within the Digitone 2 device. Within this video there's two ways, we're just going to get straight into it. There's two ways we can change the filters or the filter type within this machine. If we're on the filter page itself, all we have to do is press function and then the synth page. This takes us over straight over to the filter page. If we're on any other page, let's say the synth page or any other page, we just hold function and then press the synth page. This takes us to the synth page menu, but we can use the right arrow to take us over to choose a different filter type. I'm just going to keep it on the multi-mode for now, head back to the filter page and just explain the parameters of the multi-mode filter. So the multi-mode filter allows you to change from low pass to band pass to high pass. We have an attack, decay, sustain and release along with an envelope button. So this allows you just to shape your frequency or your filter corresponding to this envelope depth and the ADSR on top. So we'll look at the attack. So this sets the attack. If we hold function, you will see that we have a note or a sort of block that comes to the bottom. This selects the delay time of the filter, which activates the envelope. Useful if you're wanting to delay the envelope opening or closing or whatever you want it to do with it. The decay is the decay time, sustain is the sustain level, and the release is the release level. Frequency, this is where you select where the frequency holds, where the cutoff point is. The resonance, this increases the resonance of the filter type. The type morphs between the low pass, band pass and high pass filter, and then the envelope obviously opens and closes it. So to go to page 2, if we just hit the down button, we can see that this delay envelope is on the top left hand corner, whereas if we went on page 1 we just hold function to quickly access it. The key tracking, this sets key tracking of the filter. The bass and width, this adds another filter in there. I think it's a 3 dB per octave filter, or it might be a 6, I'm not sure. It doesn't state in the manual, so that's just a guess. So you can shape your sound further that way. BW, this sets your bass width filter either pre this main filter or post the main filter. And then the envelope reset, you can have this on or off. So this just resets the envelope of whatever you've set it at. And that is the multi-mode filter. So let's just hear this, how it sounds. Set the envelope, morph between different ones. If I just put it in the midpoint, just put that back as well. So that key tracking, you can key track. So next up is the Lowpass 4. So with the Lowpass 4, we have exactly the same parameters as the other one. Only difference is we are missing the morph. The frequency, the resonance is the same, the ADSR is the same, and the envelope is the same, along with page 2. The frequency on this though, with it being a low pass 4, this has a 24 dB per octave slope. It just means it's got more of a tighter slope at the cutoff point. So your cutoff point is that point there where you can see there's the slope coming down. It's more acute like that, meaning it shifts or it lowers down a lot more of the higher frequencies where the cutoff point is. It gives it more of a tighter sort of feel to the filter. Everything else is exactly the same, so I'll just play you something. Nice sounding smooth filter. Next, we have legacy, low pass and high pass. This is taken from the older machines, so the Digitone 1, the Digitact 1. This is just straightforward. Everything else is exactly the same. But this time we can select between low pass and high pass filter. So these are, I believe they are 6 dB per octave, or I believe they are. I'm not sure. It doesn't say in the manual. But these are just the legacy filters. So everything else is exactly the same. You can control the envelope depth. You can shape it by the ADSR. And then you can select where the cutoff point is using the frequency. The resonance as well. You can increase or decrease. Just got to be careful with that. But yeah, this is how it sounds. Or we'll go high pass. And that is the legacy high pass and low pass filter. Next up we have comb negative. So comb negative, this is a new filter. It introduces like metallic sound. It's good for like tube-like sounds. It makes it more hollow. So if we select a frequency, we can increase the feedback and you can see what's happening. It's boosting certain frequency points. So the higher we go up, the more of this comb we effectively have. So if I just decrease this feedback just a bit and just show you how it sounds. So you can get quite harsh. But you can also make some nice effects. If you didn't want all of that high information in there, we can use the onboard low pass filter. It just smooths out that top end. But then if you didn't like that even more, we could go over to the next page. Everything else is exactly the same, but we can use the other filter that's provided just to tame some more frequencies. A good trick to do with the comb filter is if we hold the function and then we just select a C note value, we will turn on the key tracking to 100%, and what this will do is it will key track that note to a C note value or to a note value. So you can hear the comb filter is staying in tune with what note we're playing on the keyboard. And then we can shape it, or we can turn this up even more. We can get some really nice sounds in there. We can take all that low information away, and we can start to build up some pad sounds or whatever it is that we want to do. So that is the comb negative. If we go to comb positive, this is just the exact opposite of it. So if you look at the waveform there, and I just turn back to comb negative, you can see it's the opposite of what we've just done. So comb positive, this introduces metallic sounds, pitch tones, resonant overtones, and this makes your sounds sound more string-like. Because of these notches in the waveform, it just makes it sound more string-like. So if I just turn this back to its normal, you can hear that already. I'm just going to turn this down. Just these resonant frequencies. Again, you can do the same trick by going onto the key tracking. going higher up in an octave. And then shaping the sound to however it is you want it to sound. They're good sort of effects you can use. You can create more sounds with that than you'd be able to think of. You can create toms with that, with the sine wave. You can create all sorts with it. You can also use the LFO to modulate these, but we'll look at that later on. So that's a useful sort of thing you can use in your productions. So the comb plus acts more like a string-like sound, whereas the comb negative acts like a sort of tube, sort of hollow sound. Moving on to the last one is the equalizer. So the equalizer is basically just the equalizer. It's just a one band equalizer. So we set the frequency to what it is, or where we want to duck it or to boost it. You can see we've got a narrow Q or a quite a large Q. We can obviously go negative value of 64, which takes the volume down, or we can boost the volume up. So if I just select a note here, let's say that's a bit too loud, we can bring that volume down, and then we could key track that. So whatever it is that I play, that cue or that frequency will be tracked, and it will just tame the frequency down to whatever it is. But you can also use this with the envelope if you wish, and you can get some creative stuff going on. You can get some sort of stuff going like that with it if you're using an LFO. Like stuff like this. You know, you can get some nice stuff from these filters. So that is a look at the filters within this. Utilize these to whatever you wish to do. I'd obviously just refer to the manual if there's something that you would like to know more of. I'm just quickly skimming through them just so that you know what they are. We've gone through each one of these already, and they're more or less copied, not copied and pasted, but they are the same parameters, especially for the ADSR and then the envelope. And then for the next page as well. The only thing that changes really is the actual filter itself with the parameters. Next up, we will look at the amp page. So heading over to the amp page, if we click on the amplitude, we can see on this page we have 8 parameters. So we have on the top, we have the ADSR, so that is the attack, decay, sustain, release. We can shape these to however we choose, we want to choose. We can then go to the amp envelope reset. We can turn this on and off. This just resets the envelope every time you press a trigger. We can also change the mode. This can be changed from an ADSR, so attack, decay, sustain, release, over to attack, hold and decay. So this, the hold goes from 0 to note. The 126 value is time, so every time I press a key, that will hold the note on for that period of time. Whereas if you have it in note, if I press the note down and then release it, that is what that is. It's a set time that you give it. And then the decay is from when you release it, that is the decay time. So a shorter decay time means it'll stop, it'll be like a gated effect, whereas a long release time, infinite release time, will just be played forever until it loses power. So you can shape some drums in here, you can shape all sorts of stuff, pads, anything that you want in here. The panning just goes from left to right, and then using function just to go hard left, center or right. And then the volume is just the volume of the amp. I usually like to leave it on 100 just to give me that bit of headroom. And that is the amp page within Digitone 2. This goes for all the tracks. It just shapes your overall sound in the amp page. Moving on to the effects. So the effects page, we can have 3 different effects per track. We can set these, or 2 of these effects, pre or post the filter. So if we go back to this filter page, we can do these effects before the filter or after the filter. That's good for if you wanting to get rid of frequencies that are a bit too, the sound sounds good, but you're wanting to get rid of some frequencies because it's a bit too harsh, so you'd put that maybe pre-filter. Whereas if the filter's doing all the work and you're wanting just to add a bit of candy to it, you can add it post-filter. So bitrate reduction is off. That means there's no bitrate reduction. It starts at 16, so now it's at 16-bit and it goes all the way down to 1-bit. So let's just hear this. You can hear that harshness coming through. Overdrive is just the overdrive. Adds overdrive. Sample rate reduction. This is pre or post sample rate reduction, or the sample rate reduction routing, pre or post filter. If I just click on function and then send effects, we have 3 different pages. The first one being delay, second one being reverb, and the third one being chorus. The delay, time and whatnot are different, but to get like synced values, we hold function and then time, and this goes to like synced values of like 1/8, 1/16 and so forth. Or you can just turn it and then that's just whatever setting it is. There's different stuff on here. We've got parameter, we've got ping pong, we've got the width, feedback, high pass filter to get rid of those low end frequencies, low pass filter to get rid of the high frequencies, and then we can send this delay to the reverb send. Coming down onto the reverb is pre-delay, so this is the pre-delay. If you have a transient you want to bring through and you don't want the reverb to act as you know, on the transient, you can delay it just slightly so that the transient pokes through the mix and then the reverb activates after it. The decay time is the decay time. Shorter time is just the shorter time. A longer time is a longer reverb time. The frequency select, this is like a shelf filter, so you can select a filter if you want to just tame down those high frequencies. And then it's got a high pass filter and low pass filter, acting like a bandpass filter as well with this. I'm just going to set that back to where it was. Coming down to the chorus, we have the depth, the speed, a high pass filter, the width of the chorus, and then we can send this to the delay and the reverb. So coming back onto this, these 3 are the sends amount for that. So 127 would be whatever volume this is set at. So that would be 100% or 100 or 127 or whatever it is that we set the volume at. That would go into delay, and then the delay would activate that volume from what we've sent it. Same with the reverb and then the chorus. So we'll just listen to that now. And then reverb. And then chorus. So when you start to mix these together, it can just give that bit of shine to your overall sound. The last thing in this video I might as well show you whilst we're at it is the LFOs. We get 3 LFOs per track on this, which is powerful. So we can select a destination that we would like to modulate. So in this on this page we have the speed, we have the multi, we have a fade, the destination, the waveform select, along with this extra note. This changes per waveform. So on the random example you have slew, whereas on the triangle it's just the phase. We can select different waveforms, and then we can select different modes. The speed corresponds to a chart. I'll put that up on the screen now. And then that sets different times. So you have BPM. So this is at the BPM of what's coming into the machine, or at the BPM of what the machine is. And then we have a free mode as well. So this is free. So you see the BPM is gone. This is just doing it at its own speed. I think it's to the internal tempo. So the higher the rate that you go, the quicker the waveform is going to go through itself. So you can refer to the chart that is in the booklet as well. Fade, this is fade in or fade out. Destination, let's just do an example. So let's just do the filter. I'll just change the filter over to Lowpass 4, and I'll just go to sort of a midpoint. So I'm just going to go into filter. I'm going to go down to frequency, click on yes, and then with this depth knob, it will modulate that frequency to whatever tempo I've set it to. So the depth is bipolar. If you do it negatively, it will go negative. It will go this way. But if you do it positively, the envelope will go that way first, to whatever the waveform is. And that is more or less it. The trigger modes is free, so it's just running freely. Trigger is when you press a trigger, it will restart from wherever you've set it on the phase of the waveform. Trigger mode hold, this holds it until the next trigger. Trigger mode 1, that just goes through one cycle and then it stays at a level. Half mode just goes through half the cycle. And that is the LFOs for this machine. So in this video we've looked at the filters, we've looked at the amp page, we've looked at the effects built into Digitone, we've looked at the LFOs, covered a large portion of stuff there, the main things that we need to, and we're just going to start building on that now. So in the next video we will look at actually building a track that I've already sort of done, just to take away that boringness of the videos, just me watching them fiddling with buttons. But in that video we're going to look at different elements. So that's it for this one. Don't forget to comment, rate and subscribe. There is a booklet out for this as well on the website. That just helps support myself and the channel. The money just goes straight back into the channel, with obviously cost for websites and stuff like that and whatnot. There's also a Patreon. It's all in the description below. So if you want to support the channel, that is greatly appreciated. But if not, these videos are just there for your leisure. I enjoy doing them. So yeah, I hope to see you in the next one. Hope you've enjoyed this video, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one.